So if you spend any time online recently, I'm sure you've seen the ads. You know the ones. They promise a system to help you build an online business using the power of AI. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain. Let's dive in and map out the exact playbook that's being sold in all these courses and guides.
And this is the bold claim right at the heart of this whole movement. It's a really powerful hook, isn't it? It reframes AI not as some kind of threat, but as this massive financial opportunity. It basically divides the world into two camps, the people who are afraid of the future and the people who are getting paid by it.
Okay, so what is the actual system that people are paying all this money to learn? You know, beyond the hype and the flashy ads, what are the specific steps? That's exactly what we're going to break down, piece by piece.
And the level of interest here, it's just staggering. One source we looked at says over 1.5 million people are actively searching for AI solutions every single month. This isn't some niche little trend, it's a full-on, modern-day gold rush. And these playbooks? Well, they're selling the shovels.
So our goal for this explainer is pretty simple. We're going to chart the entire customer journey. We're going to follow a potential customer from the moment they're just a stranger on the internet all the way to the point where they become a paying client, all according to this AI-powered model.
All right, so everything has to start with finding potential customers, right? But what's really interesting here is the huge emphasis on doing it all for free, without spending a dime on ads. This is the very top of the funnel, where the whole system kicks off.
And the entire strategy is built on this one core marketing idea that's laid out in the guides. On any given day, about 1 to 3% of your audience is already ready to buy what you're selling. They don't need to be convinced, they just need to see an offer.
And that's exactly why consistency is so important. If you know that a small slice of people are always ready to buy, then the whole game just becomes about making sure you're there to catch them. It's not about trying to annoy everyone else, it's about being there for the right person at exactly the right time.
Now, obviously, you can't just be selling all day long. So the playbook uses something called the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you're posting things that provide real value. You know, tips, insights, helpful advice, all to build trust. And only 20% of the time are you making a direct sales pitch. It's that classic strategy, give, 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 and then ask.
So how do they actually do it? Well, the free tactics they teach are pretty straightforward. It's things like engaging every single day in niche Facebook groups, turning your personal social media profile into a kind of lead capture page, and creating that valuable content by talking directly about the problems your audience is facing.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Creating quality content every single day, that's a huge challenge. It's a ton of work. And that right there is the exact problem that AI is pitched as the ultimate solution for. It's the engine that powers the middle of the funnel, where you're nurturing all those leads.
And this comparison just lays out the value proposition perfectly. I mean, take creating a simple YouTube thumbnail. The old way was expensive and it took forever. You needed a good camera, design skills, or you had to pay a freelancer hundreds of dollars. The AI way, as it's sold, just removes all those barriers, cost, time, and skill, making pro-level marketing something anyone can do.
And really, that's the core promise. The sales stuff talks about creating images of you swimming with sharks or flying to Mars. And the point isn't just that it's fun, it's that the old limits of budget and creativity, they're just gone. You can supposedly create scroll-stopping content in just a few seconds.
Which brings us to another huge piece of this content engine, social proof. See, it's not enough to just create cool AI images. The playbook really hammers home the importance of sharing testimonials and screenshots of real results. This is what builds trust and shows those skeptical leads that, hey, this system actually works for real people.
So let's move down to the bottom of the funnel. You've found the leads, you've nurtured them with all this AI-powered content, so now what? How do you actually make the sale? This is where conversation turns into conversion.
So, according to the training, not all sales methods are created equal. Automated funnels, you can see, have the lowest conversion rate. Direct conversations in Messenger, much better. But real-time Zoom calls, that's the most effective by far. And this hierarchy explains why the entire system pushes you towards personal interaction.
So, you see, the main goal of the entire content strategy is to get interested people out of the public feed and into a private, one-on-one conversation. That is where the real selling happens.
And here's a classic example of how they do it. This is called a hand raiser post. A simple poll asking, "Who's with us?" or "Are you ready?" basically acts as a filter. Anyone who votes "Yes, I'm ready," has just identified themselves as a super hot lead, which makes it incredibly easy to know exactly who you should start a conversation with.
And this whole process is broken down into a simple playbook. First, you post a story with a call to action, like that poll. Then you see who engages with it, then you slide into their DMs with a really friendly, non-salesy opener, and from there, you just guide the conversation to a point where you can present your product as the perfect solution to their problem. Now, to fuel these conversations, the playbook leans heavily on storytelling. You can see here in this post, it details how someone ended 6 years of online struggles and made their first $1,000 day in just 11 days. This isn't selling a product, it's selling a transformation, which, as you can imagine, is way more powerful. So when you kind of zoom out and you look at all these different pieces together, you start to see the overarching philosophy that's being sold. It's not about just working hard, it's about having a predictable system.
And here is that system, in a nutshell. Step 1. Find free leads in places like Facebook groups. Step 2. Nurture them with consistent content powered by that AI engine and the 80-20 rule. Step 3. Get them to raise their hand with a call to action. And finally, Step 4. Convert them in private messenger DMs. It's a clear, 4-step process.
This quote, which kind of pulls together the themes from the sources, really captures the core emotional promise. The whole pitch is an escape from burnout. It suggests that just relentless, unstructured hustle is the problem, and that a repeatable system is the answer to building a real business, not just a stressful job. So there you have it, from top to bottom, that's the playbook. It combines these organic social media marketing principles with the incredible scale and efficiency of new AI tools, and it's all packaged and sold as a step-by-step replicable system for making money online.
And all of this brings us to our final thought. As we've seen, it's a pretty detailed and cohesive strategy for generating leads and making sales, but when you look at the whole picture, from the person buying the course to the person selling it, it makes you ask a bigger question. In this whole online gold rush, who is this system ultimately designed to benefit the most?